Paranoid. I can't stand tea.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Season 2 of Vaulting, or at least 2010 edition. For those who aren't familiar with the show, this is where we take a throwback look into your favorite TV shows, movies, and give you interesting trivia and teats behind them, even if they are ones you never heard of. Think fast! Oh yes, Little Shop of Horrors. Is there a movie musical that could get more creative, more original as it can ever be? A simple nerd that apparently comes across a man-eating Venus flytrap that solely feeds on blood as he tries to woo the girl of his dreams while working at a simple, run-down florist shop while being menaced by a crazed dentist played by Steve Martin. This is one of my all-time favorite movie musicals. And it shows. Seeing how I am the type of guy that's into weird, cult science fiction films. But here's the interesting thing. It first started in the 1960s as a B cult film by Roger Corman. He made a bet with a friend of his that he can make a film in just 2 days, reusing sets and props that he, used for another movie. But from what became a simple request or some sort of a prank in Hollywood, later became an off-Broadway smash hit. And, being someone who grew up on this and always developed, sort of a bit of a fan crush on it, I guess I'm one of the lucky few to say that I actually performed in a production of it. In my high school days, of course. And for those who are curious to know, I was the dentist. And no, I'm not here in this episode to reenact that role for you. I'm actually here for a different reason. You see, after the success of the film, or at least the modest success of the film, Frank Oz had an interesting request to Warner Brothers, and it happened somewhat like this.
Although this is a bullshit reenactment, it may have happened just this way.
Joe Dante, you done it again. I'm Frank Oz, and I'm here to pitch to you this prequel I have in mind for Little Shop of Horrors, the 1986 musical. A prequel? That's impossible. Ha! You'll have something to do anyway. And in fact, it may gross its budget, but it didn't make a profit. Well, it did make a hefty profit, and the critics did love it. Well, for your information, I'm shooting down your idea, and I'm going with Joe Dante's Gremlins 2. Hopefully you'll be worthy of profit bonus points. Now get out of here before I fire you. But I don't even work here. Then get out of here before I release the hounds. Idiot, I don't even have any hounds. I'm too cheap to buy hounds. So what do? I lie to my agents. Ha! Of course, it wouldn't be until years later when this would happen. Joe Dante, what were you thinking? I need something. Sir, it's me again. Oh, it's just you, Frank Oz. What do you want? I'd like to pitch to you the Little Shop of Horrors prequel project again, but this time I like to make it animated. Yeah, sure, fine. Anything that makes me money. As long as you have me 2 things. 1, my pen, and 2, a cheap cast to make this whole thing work together. Thanks. I appreciate it. And as for me, I'm gonna find my pen and then crush the dreams of one Richard Williams. His movie The Thief and the Snobbler, or The Heath and the Hobbler, or whatever it's called, has been overdue for too long and certainly over budget. I love it when I crush a filmmaker's dream. Why, you ask? Because I'm a Warner Brothers, bitch! And as a result, Little Shop of Horrors, the animated series, came. Now, being the diehard fan who truly loves Little Shop of Horrors, It's a shame to learn that during my time of childhood, when I was just so young, that something like this would come up. And it's just dumbed down, sanitized, and made more for a kid audience. So you probably think to yourself, how could they take one of my favorite concepts, or in this case, one of the best concepts of all time, and completely debaucherize it for a half-hour, kid-friendly, Saturday morning cartoon that could so be loathed by some? First things first, the title, Little Shop. I mean, really, it sounds like as if they just unfinished it and just said, here we go, Little Shop. They'll know it because it has Little Shop on it. I mean, really, you can just add anything to it. Little Shop of Muffins, Little Shop of Blueberry Muffins, or Little Shop of Killer Plants and Killer Muffins on the planet of Xeno. I mean, really, it's that obvious. You can just call it anything. I mean, Little Shop, the animated series? Who would want to see that? So we first begin with a monologue by what is supposed to be a junior high school version of Seymour Krelborn, who for some oddball reason looks like a mix between one of the kids from Bebe's Kids and Charlie Brown. So we pretty much see that his mother is greatly alive in this one, is some sort of a exercise nut, obviously. So we pretty much see as it bursts through high school as he, of course, tries to fall in love with Audrey. Wait a minute!
Are you all right? It looked like you weren't breathing.
That is not the Audrey I know. The Audrey I know is delicate, soft, high-pitched with a squeaky voice, and has blonde hair.
You don't need a nice voice when you live on Skid Row, Mr. Mushnick.
Oh, let's just hope they did the dentist right.
Hand it over, Quillborn.
Okay, let me pause for a little critique, very briefly. Number one, I like when he did the dentist. I mean, you know, he's a bully, of course, and, you know, I really appreciate that. He's a bully, and, you know, it kind of fits his role. But you want to know what I don't like? That voice. That annoying voice.
Hand over the sandwich, Quillborn. I'm coming back tomorrow to see Mushnick. Hand over that milk money, Quillborn.
I'm in a theater, but let me damage Seymour.
Really, is that what all bullies sound like?
Try talking out of your mouth instead of your butt.
Alright, I will give them some credit. I mean, at least they got Mushnick right.
Stop overwatering the flowers, Seymour. I'm going broke. Wasting your time with weeds while my flowers go to pot? You're lucky I can't afford to pay you.
Anyway, after a day of being bullied and tortured by the supposed pain driller, for that matter, he's then sent off to the dump where he finds something very unusual.
Ouch! It looks like a fossilized seed.
So anyway, he decides to scuff away the giant fossilized seed, stone, or whatever it is into his lunchbox, where later on it's revealed that it has some very unusual mutations going on.
It must have germinated in the wheat germ.
Really? That's the best you can come up with? Instead of toxic waste, or mixing with chemicals in the science lab, which I would have perfectly seen. It mixes in with the wheat germ, and boom, it grows into a Venus flytrap. Oh sure, like I'm gonna go out, find a stone, put 9 volts of battery into it, and next thing you know, it'll turn into a potato! How absurd. Oh, and just when things couldn't get any worse, they go into a musical number. Yeah, because the 1986 version was a musical, so they might as well make this one a musical. Seriously though, I don't know what's worse. The songs in the Seth and Alex Almost Live comedy special, or this? Because these tend to be a little more unoriginal than you think.
In the middle of the forest, I couldn't find a tree. Couldn't find a tree. Guess if I didn't have bad luck, I just wouldn't be me.
It stinks.
So anyway, during this musical number, which apparently I can't fast forward through due to its significance to the plot apparently, Seymour tries to show off his Venus flytrap, which for some strange reason has no explanation why it's rapidly growing. Tries to show it off to Audrey, but apparently he doesn't get a notice.
Hey, Audrey! Meet Audrey Jr.
Audrey Jr.? You named that thing Audrey Jr.? Audrey Jr.? Audrey Jr.? Audrey Jr.? Audrey Jr.! I can explain. In the 1960 B cult film, they named the plant Audrey Jr. for some reason. It was a 1986 musical where it was named Audrey 2. Gee, does this mean they're doing a prequel to the 1960 movie and not the 1986 film? The answer, my friend, is sadly yes. Well, let's just hope the plan is okay.
Feed me!
Beg your pardon?
Feed me!
No, not that feed me, the other feed me.
Yo, feed me!
Shame. So anyway, the plant, seeing how its hunger is desperately growing, decides to, and I kid you not, order out a pizza. Delivered by none other than... Oh look, it's the nerdy bully! Yeah, because we liked him so much earlier, and they established so much of him in the first place, we might as well have him in through the whole thing. Oh, and by the way, we're on this scene. As the evil bully dentist tries to steal some money from the cash register, can you spot the animation mistake? The answer, my friend, is everything! Everything is poorly animated! Especially the magical disappearing pizza box. If you said that answer, I would accept it. Yes. Yes. Do it, Audrey Jr. Do it. Do it for the love of us fans.
Hey! What are you doing here?
What a blow to us fans. So, once again, Seymour gets tortured by the elegant Captain Metalmouth. And sure enough, he's quite surprised to see how lively his plan is taking.
Junior? You're alive!
What do I look like? I'm made out of plastic? Nobody ever talks to you, huh? Well, I'll talk to you, but keep it a secret.
You see, man, I'm like no genie. I'm just a simple green plant who's even better acting than Shaquille O'Neal for that matter. Green peas and ham it! So they decide to strike a deal. If Seymour returns the plant back to his home at the dump, then Seymour can, well, I guess, get all his wishes and dreams come true. You know, just like in the movie, but here it's much more subtle. So, as Seymour starts feeling a little more upbeat, it fades straight off to a commercial break. Which we're going to do right now!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen to me and hear what I'm saying!
Pieces, hair pieces, Reese's pieces, eye pieces, nose pieces, Reese's pieces, 3 pieces, 2 pieces, 1 pieces, Reese's pieces, dime pieces, center pieces, mantle pieces, Reese's pieces, chest pieces, gold pieces, silver pieces, Reese's pieces, the famous flavor of Reese's peanut butter in a fun candy shell. You'll love them to pieces.
Man, am I hungry. I wish I had something to eat.
Hello there.
Who are you, and what are you doing here?
I heard about your hunger problem, and I thought I would give you this.
Ooh.
This platter is courtesy of the Outside Grill, known for their great taste in its deep-fried goods.
Yummy.
Here at the Outside Grill, our policy is to serve you a taste so good, you'll believe it's not frozen, but freshly fried. Who could forget such fried classics like well-breaded chicken tenders, beer-battered onion rings, savory sandwiches, zesty mozzarella sticks, and everyone's favorite, French fries. So, what do you think?
This is good. I can't believe it's not frozen.
Actually, I kind of skipped breakfast, and I was wondering if you could.
Hey, get your own lunch.
Oh. The outside grill. Fresh from the fryer, not from the fridge.
From Nintendo, new Super Mario World, created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more challenging, a bit more graphic, a bit more colorful, a bit more realistic, a bit more levels, a bit more secret, a bit more enemies, a bit more friends, a bit more sound, a bit hotter, a bit cooler, a bit weird, a bit more revolutionary, a bit more Mario, a bit more of what you want. It's 16-bit, and it's yours only if you get new Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Just want to temper the blood problems about the cat and started the practice more intestine.
Come on. Do a barrel roll, Fox. Do a barrel roll. So anyway, Seymour pretty much gets up in the usual, normal way, other than being stuck in a flower pot, of course, and rushes all the way down to the little shop to try and once again woo the greatness of Audrey. And wait a minute.
They were having a fire sale in the hosiery department.
What were the writers thinking at this time?
I don't get it.
Well, at least there's one thing I'm glad they retained from the 1960 B cult film. The fact that Audrey Jr. can actually hypnotize people to do things. Like, for example, in this scene where he actually attempts to try and make Audrey fall in love with Seymour. But it backfires.
Seymour's the coolest non-green dude in the world.
I just had an idea. Has anybody ever told you you're the coolest non-green dude in the world?
Can you excuse me for just 1 second? Why? My eyes! Anyway, after this unfortunate crossfire, he apparently decides to take them all on a bike ride. But luckily, the Iraqian plant and Seymour hijack the bike, toss him in the dumpster, and drive all the way to the dump. Where, to the horrible surprise, they find that Fern Gully 2 is in pre-production. Seriously, though, they actually find that the whole forest is dead.
The sign says the forest is 200 million years old. You must have been lying dormant all that time, Junior.
200 million years? No wonder my mouth tasted like root rot.
So first they established that Audrey Jr. is a seed. Now they're saying that he is a petrified fossil. 200 million year old fossil. Personally, I would have liked the alien explanation better. It's much more infuriating. Anyway, the bully somehow makes it up to the dump and decides to take back his bike, where Seymour and apparently his not so easy being green mean bunny decide to hitchhike on an onion truck.
It's mighty green of you taking these onions out for a ride, giving them some fresh air.
He's not taking them out for a ride, Junior.
And then Seymour makes the most boneheaded decision of all boneheaded decisions throughout this entire cartoon.
It's like some horrible nightmare.
It's just vegetable soup.
Wow, I didn't think I'd say this, but His reaction greatly sums up the horridness of this whole cartoon. So anyway, they go back home, much to Audrey Jr.'s disappointment, where...
Wake up! It's time to get busy. Rise up! Realize your reality.
He's rapping a revolution. Rapping a revolution. Out of all the numbers I have heard in this entire episode, a rap about revolting plants.
Feel the energy, attitude live. Come on, have a little spunk. You may be a lily, but you don't have to be a punk. Wake up! Wake up!
Continue.
To get busy, wake up!
So after one whole minute and a half of
It's time to get busy, wake up!
rapping rebellion, the plants sit there and they do nothing. Are you happy? They do nothing. All that waste of an hour and a half of get up and be green and be more alive, and they're just doing nothing.
Green is groovy. Power to the pollinator. These gotta be the most unmotivated plants I ever saw.
Well, maybe it's because of the fact that they're, I don't know, domesticated plants. Well, anyway, Seymour, who apparently has been gone through this escapade for too long, decides to, well, what else? Destroy the thing once and for all. You know, like in the musical, only without 9 volts of electroshock therapy.
If you don't promise to behave, I'll have to overwater you.
Of course, because overwatering it kills them instantly when it doesn't.
I don't think you can do it, Seymour.
Why? Because I'm just a nerd?
No, because I'm holding the hose.
We are not amused.
Pyrotechnic! Oh, I guess you already put it out. Some people have all the luck. Maybe we could put out a fire together sometime.
Okay, so Audrey is noticing him just a tad bit more. That's not too bad. But what about Mushnik?
What have you done to my shop? And to my flowers? I knew it was a jungle out there, but now it's a jungle in here. Seymour, how did you do it?
Do you think I should tell him that it was really Junior?
What do I care how you did it? You little nerdnik, you. Just don't stop, or you're out of here.
Yeah. Wait until your later life when you're munched on by a giant Venus flytrap and have no question about it. So yeah, it all ends on a happy ending, la-di-da-di-da. Mushnik's shop apparently blooms in business. Audrey pays attention to Seymour just a little more despite her tendencies of becoming a firefighter. And of course, Audrey Jr. decides to stay in the shop and become a great bounding gimmick while still trying to get those plants into shape and somehow rebel so in the near future they can take over the world. So let me get this straight. One whole season of 13 episodes of nothing but a nerdy kid that is trying to get noticed by a girl who wants to be a firefighter, who works in a downtown florist shop that's not doing well but somehow is blooming business, with a bully who later should become a dentist, who wears braces and has a high-pitched squeaky voice, who even though he looks a bit macho, all esque-like, and runs into a Venus flytrap, and yet they become friends, or else the Venus flytrap wants to take over the world to get back at people just for eating his kind.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
With all due respect, this as a whole is wrong. Wrong from beginning to end. Wrong characterization, wrong animation, wrong setting, wrong songs, wrong. In many ways, I can call this animated series not the worst, but truly a bad seed among the bunch. Well, in the meantime, that's my show for today, and I'll see you on the next upload. And now if you excuse me... I got some plant problems of my own to deal with. Time to get rid of you once and for all. Fern! Alright, probably know me, sir. I was the guy who directed Little Shop of Horrors and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and House Sitter. No, redo it. You know, just like how the plant tempted him in the movie, but here it's actually a... Sorry. I need something. I need a pen. Unclean, still unclean. Sorry. Yeah, blooper. Shit. Sorry. That's blue. Minty. Ew. Tastes like a lemon. Yeah. Funny how later in your time you're gonna be munched on by a giant. My eyes! My eyes! I'm blind. Cut.
When I was his age, we never ate Chazarian pizza like that.